It's Madden NFL 24, and we'll see the Buccaneers rookie linebacker. He's been one of the best blitzers in the NFL this season and is among the league leader in sacks. It's the Bucs and the 49ers, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape,
the Bucs defense ready to go and in good form coming off the shutout a week ago. And the one we'll be watching is this man at linebacker.
and he was at it again last week, adding to his season sack total. He's the NFL leader in that category, and it's just become almost impossible to block on a regular basis.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. He'll get this to his tight end, Latu. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They were terrific in the run over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Back to throw, Purdy. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Oh, boy, Christian McCaffrey shaken up, so hold everything here as they're going to take a look at it. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Purdy now to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
Yeah.
The Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They've got to defend a tough spot here. Their backs to their own end zone. It's 1st and goal. Jake Moody now for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. They trail 7-0 as this next drive begins with a first down. Here's Samuel. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it 2nd and 7. They run over center with Mitchell. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That was a nicely run slant route. And what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Purdy. And he's going to go down again. Levante David, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here we go.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Throwing here, Purdy. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
But good news, they kept the ball. Bad neus, it's 3rd and long. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was a 3rd and long run, and to me, that was just a wave the white flag kind of a situation. Obviously, they don't want to risk the chance of throwing it downfield and risking a turnover in this section of the field.
And the Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They trail here in the second quarter as this next drive begins with a 1st and 10. Purdy. That's to Mitchell out of the backfield. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. And we'll see what adjustments they made at halftime, trailing here to start the third quarter of play.
18 Cardinal.
Purdy to throw it on 1st down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. So, Charles, I mean, this is just becoming an exhibition now on how to rush the passer.
Yeah, and I can't help but laugh a little bit because I'm enjoying what we're watching. This is coming from a guy who was in college just a year ago. And we keep harping on their evaluation. They saw not just a guy who could rush the passer, but could rush the passer well. And that's why they took him as high as they did.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll have it just 5 yards away from pay dirt here, 1st and goal. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
The Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They hold the lead here in this third quarter, but every drive important in a one-score game as this one begins 1st and 10 here. The drive begins with a run. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamental.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. He won't get in, but they are going to have the football in a great spot. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, You'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. They've been the dominant side so far, working with a 2-score lead here in this third quarter as this next drive gets underway.
Okay, ready?
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Coming in to put a lick on him was Levante David.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Levante David getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And the Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. And they'll begin by trying to defend a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here we go, sack!
Now on 1st down, it's Purdy. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. They've done a really nice job of slowing the tempo of this offense, and as a result, they've got a comfortable 3rd quarter lead as this next drive begins 1st and 10.
Let's go!
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. In trouble, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Purdy looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have...
And the Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They've been terrific all game long, have not let this offense get on track, and they try to close this one out here in the 4th.
Ready, ready!
On 1st down, Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Purdy. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up. Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and forever. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a tough turnover there, as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. They've put in a very good shift so far, and this one pretty well in hand. Just looking to finish strong here in the 4th as this next drive starts 1st and 10. Here's Purdy. Pressure comes and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Operating from the gun, Purdy. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big 2nd half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments.
You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Tampa Bay, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.